What state would you characterize the higher education sector? The resources dedicated to it, its mandate, institutions.
Yeah.
How would you characterize it?
Look, I mean, if we to compare it with, for instance, I think the major landmarks in our post-school education and training sector would be 2016, September, October, with the students' uprisings, and I think before then, it would have been the separation of basic education and higher education into two separate departments. That was major because it basically reconstituted a new department.
Right. When was the separation?
This was 2009.
Okay.
But I also think that, you know, the 1994 policy and legislative moment were quite defining and led to you know, how the higher education sector is going to be, you know, the size and shape of higher education as we know it now. So if we to compare now with then, you know, I would say we've been able to meet the demands imposed to any liberation movement post-independence, you know, meaning that we've been able to expand access in our post-school education and training sector. We've been able to, you know, build a single system because the previous system was fractured around, you know, race, class, and all of that. But we've also been able to increase participation. I mean, in 1994, we had about 400,000 university students, even less at TVET colleges. Community colleges were almost non-existent. You know, so if you compare with that now, I mean, the system has almost you know, multiplied tenfold. You know, 1.1 million students go to university, just above 500,000 go to TVET colleges, you know, and close to 200,000 go to community colleges, and the plan is to still expand that. You know, so if you look at where we come from, yes, we think we've done quite a lot. But if you ask that question based on where we need to go, you know, patient as we are about getting there, we're still a mile from achieving that. And what do I mean by that? You know, so the National Development Plan set certain targets for us. We you know, agreed that we need 1.3 million students to be at university, 2.5 million students to be at TVET colleges. We need a community college that is 1 million students. We set targets in terms of the number of, you know, PhD throughput or, you know, graduates. Similarly, we also set numbers, you know, in terms of the throughput rate, that is the number of students who pass, you know, and all of that. So despite the fact that the system 30 years ago is completely different, we, and I think this is important, we must appreciate that it is not where it is supposed to be. And so yes, people will say, but it's 30 years later, you know, and I don't think anybody said that in 30 years' time we would have been able to build a perfect system. But I think what we should be proud of is the fact that we have, you know, almost restructured the apartheid spatial plan in terms of higher education. We've completely transformed its face. More women, in fact the majority of people going to our higher education and training institutions are women, are black, are young, would have ordinarily not have gotten those you know, opportunities. So you know, African, Indian, and colored students, I mean, young people have access to these institutions, which is something that must be celebrated. The quality is commendable, you know, and so on and so forth. But if you look at long range, if your idea is about where we should be in the next 10, 20 years, you know, we're still a mile ahead. So that's basically what I mean.